Have you ever felt that quiet pull, that sense of searching for something deeper, maybe a real purpose in a world that just feels so noisy? Or maybe your own spiritual path has always felt a bit, outside the usual lines. Today we're diving into what it might mean to be a spiritual rebel.
Hmm. Welcome to the deep dive. We unpack complex ideas, surprising facts, all to get you well-informed, fast. And today, our deep dive is into Sarah Bowen's really unique book, Spiritual Rebel, a positively addictive guide to finding deeper perspective and higher purpose.
Yeah, it's quite a guide. Our mission today is basically to navigate through it. It brilliantly blends her own stories, lots of pop culture references, which is fun, and ancient wisdom, too. It's really designed to help you clarify what spirituality means to you specifically and, challenge some preconceptions, encourage your own kind of unique spiritual freedom.
Right. And we should probably mention the disclaimer up front.
Oh, absolutely. The author's very clear. This isn't medical advice, not religious dogma, not psychological therapy. It's more like a field guide, an invitation for exploration. And self-care is really key as you engage with these ideas.
Okay, good. So let's unpack this. The author's journey, her path into this spiritual rebellion, it actually starts with an F word,
Uh-huh.
but maybe not the one you're thinking of. It's the Force from Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she described how this childhood thing, this inspiration, led her to create a rebel alliance right there in her suburban neighborhood, kind of unknowingly playing out this ancient hero's journey.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how something playful like that can sort of lay the groundwork.
Exactly. And then it deepens.
Right. It becomes this really raw personal awakening. After her father died, she felt this intense anger directed at God. She started seeking answers way beyond traditional religion.
So it wasn't just grief. No, it seems like it was more. A real catalyst for a pretty radical search. It pushed her onto a path of, well, spiritual recovery, partly through a 12-step fellowship, and also, interestingly, just diving deep into religious texts at the local library.
And then comes Serenity School. That's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah, her sort of playful name for it, it was actually an interfaith seminary.
And the student body.
Mm.
Wow, imagine. An Ifa priestess, an Orthodox Jewish woman, pagans, Wiccans, humanists, agnostics, even atheists, all learning together.
It's quite the mix.
And the key thing, the really profound insight here, isn't just the diversity, but that they didn't have to subscribe to one specific dogma. Instead, they just agreed on a community code of ethics.
Which is in itself a kind of spiritual rebellion, right? Prioritizing shared values over these rigid beliefs.
Absolutely.
And it ties into the name seminary. The word's root means plant nursery, so a place for growth, not indoctrination.
I like that. And serenity.
Meaning a clear or unclouded mind. So this whole experience, as she describes it, really highlighted embracing all paths as valid, focusing on that shared unity of experience, peace, service, love for creation. That's interspirituality.
Interspirituality.
And what's rebellious about that is its radical acceptance. It suggests, paths might differ, but the core human spiritual experience is unified.
So how did all this shape her sense of higher purpose?
Well, she talks about recovering hope by reconnecting with that childhood belief in the Force, but specifically through Princess Leia.
Oh, interesting. How so?
It was actually Carrie Fisher's real-life struggles, with addiction, mental health, what the author calls fluctuations in her Force. That became the inspiration.
Wow. So the imperfection was the key.
Exactly. It wasn't a flaw. It was the source of inspiration. It sort of legitimized imperfection on a spiritual journey, pushed the author to embrace her own purpose as a tireless advocate, not about being perfect, but about being present in that shared human struggle.
That makes a lot of sense.
So really, the book positions itself as a field guide for you to explore your own spirituality, maybe move beyond ideas you just inherited. It invites you to clarify what really resonates, maybe redefine some outdated concepts, and find your own ways, maybe unconventional ways, to experience connection and freedom, building your own framework, not just adopting one.
Okay, let's jump into the first week then, laying foundations for a deeper perspective. And it starts, surprisingly, with sheep.
Right. Most people think sheep are, well, simple. Mindless flock animals.
Yeah, kind of dumb, honestly.
But she reveals they're actually extremely intelligent. They have amazing memories. If you remember like 50 different sheep or humans for years, they solve problems, even self-medicate using specific plants.
Self-medicate? No way.
Yeah, and she tells this story about Lammy, a sheep in South Africa whose surrogate mothers orphaned rhinos.
Wow. Okay, so that immediately challenges assumptions.
Exactly, and that's the point. She uses it as this powerful example of how beliefs are not facts,
Mm.
how new info can just toss out biases. And it raises the question for you, the listener. How often do we cling to outdated ideas about ourselves, about spirituality?
Mhm.
She connects it to that Buckminster Fuller quote, to change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete.
So it's not about fighting against things.
Not necessarily. It's more this rebellious act of creating something new, something so compelling that the old way just loses its relevance.
Okay. And that leads into this both hand mindset she talks about. Letting go can be both scary and exciting.
Precisely. She says it can be spine-chillingly scary and joyful and hair-raisingly exciting at the same time. And she introduces this experiment, the sacred trash experiment.
Sacred trash. Sounds intriguing.
It's a process, basically.
Yeah.
Reevaluating beliefs you hold, acknowledging maybe how they helped you in the past, but then consciously, intentionally deciding to discard them if they no longer serve you.
That sounds potentially intense, especially as she mentions when the G word God comes up.
Yeah.
Does the book guide you through that potential upheaval?
It does, yeah. By framing it as discernment and empowerment, not just abandonment. And what helps is this idea of words as guideposts.
Guideposts.
Yeah, there's this story. A teacher points at the moon, asks where his dog is looking. The student says, he's looking at your finger. And the teacher says, don't confuse the pointing finger with the thing that is being pointed at.
Ah, I see. So words are just labels, tools, not the thing itself.
Exactly. Like water can be ice, liquid, steam, still water. The ultimate truth, maybe, is beyond just language. The rebellion is seeking the direct experience, not just the word for it.
That's a really crucial distinction, and it sets up another experiment, dealing with the G word, exploring like 200 names for whatever is greater than us.
Right. The idea is find what resonates with you, personally. Recognizing that maybe the word you use changes depending on the context, like how you might be a parent, a friend, a professional, different roles, still you, allows for a more flexible, multifaceted understanding of something bigger.
And connecting this back, it really broadens the definition of spirituality way beyond church or scripture.
Hugely. She quotes Wayne Teasdale. Spirituality is a way of life that affects and includes every moment of existence. And Brother David Steinelrast, wherever we come alive, that is the area in which we are spiritual.
I like that, wherever we come alive.
Me too. And the author prefers calling them spiritual moments rather than practice or discipline to kind of remove any negative chore-like feeling.
That feels rebellious in itself, making it natural, integrated.
Definitely. Democratizing it.
It reminds me of Ram Dass, be here now, and just how hard that can be, merely being.
Oh, absolutely. In our busy lives, A.H. Almas asks, how can my atoms slow down, collect, and settle here as what I am? Just being present becomes this quiet, radical act.
So the book offers weekly practices to cultivate these moments. Let's touch on some from week 1, Mindful Monday.
Focuses on breath work. A simple Zen counting meditation. The idea is your breath is always there, your instant access point to the present, a quiet rebellion against all the mental chatter.
Okay, Blessing Tuesday.
Blessing as a good deed on steroids, an act of connection. She tells stories of blessing roadkill, even a tire.
That tire, okay.
It's about that rebellious compassion, extending kindness and connection everywhere, not just where it's expected.
Wonder-filled Wednesday.
Seeing the amazing in everything, even mundane stuff. Connecting to the cosmos, 100 billion galaxies, Martian rocks, the miracle of your own body's 37 trillion cells. Practices like cloud gazing.
Trekking Thursday.
Going out to go in, finding a green spot, tuning into nature, noticing cycles. Lao Tzu's advice. Just remain in the center watching, and then forget you are there.
Fearless Friday.
This one's interesting. Differentiating bravery, maybe outward appearance, like the cowardly lion from Courage, which is that inner spring that acts despite fear. Like a rescue cat, Deacon.
Ah, so it's not about not feeling fear.
Right. It connects to the hero's journey we see everywhere, and that quote, courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes courage is the little voice at the end of the day that says, I'll try again tomorrow. That quiet, persistent rebellion of just keeping going.
Love that. Save a Saturday.
Service. Specifically save it. Doing something for nothing. It's seen as this circular connection helping others helps you too. Introduces meta loving kindness practice.
And Science Sunday.
Finding your tribe. Addressing how challenging that can be. The dangers of isolation. Thich Nhat Hanh's idea of Sangha as fertile soil for growth.
So actively seeking connection is the rebellious act here, against isolation.
Exactly. And practices like Thich Nhat Hanh's smiling meditation, Namaste, I bow to the divine in you. Even mentions the oxytocin boost from eye contact with dogs or the stillness of squirrel gazing.
Squirrel gazing. Okay, so moving into weeks 2 and 3, it's about deepening all this.
Yeah, she uses the Greek word sporos, meaning seed, signifying growth, unfolding potential.
So week 2, Mindful Monday.
Introduces the rebellion and the power of sound full body ohms. And also Kirtan Kriya, that sa ta na mana chant. She notes it actually has proven benefits for cognition and memory.
So it's not just spiritual woo-woo.
Apparently not. It's using vibration as a tool for internal transformation, a resonant way to connect.
Wonder-filled Wednesday, week 2, See the Invisible.
Yeah, using Alexander Calder's mobiles as an example, like art or divinity, you can't see it all at once, you interact from different perspectives. Introduces Visio Divina meditative gazing at images.
And connects it to yoga.
Right, through Francesco Mastaglia's photos in Yoga, The Secret of Life, showing yoga as union and connection. The rebellious insight is redefining yoga beyond just poses. It's about connecting to something bigger than your ego, the unseen.
Trekking Thursday, week 2, Not all those who wander are lost.
She shares her Tolkien tattoo quote and how she embodied texts by hiking while listening to them. The practice is basically wandering with a phrase in mind, contemplating it in different places. Spiritual journey isn't always A to B.
Fearless Friday, week 2, Spiritual Bucket List.
This is where her mantra, can't prove it doesn't, comes in.
Yeah.
It's about playful open-mindedness, exploring things like I Ching, listening for animal messages like bear means stand your ground, squirrel means prepare.
Animal messages? Okay, that's definitely rebel territory for some.
For sure. And defining prayer really broadly as any action connecting to something greater. It's about being brave enough to explore the unproven for yourself.
Save Us Saturday, week 2. Do something for nothing but broader.
Yeah, recalling her childhood stories of just spontaneously helping homeless folks. And that Dr. Seuss quote, unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. Highlighting how small acts of caring really matter.
And she highlights Joshua Coombs, the street haircuts.
Exactly. His Do Something for Nothing initiative. Giving haircuts, sharing stories on Instagram, focusing on connection, dignity. It's a rebellion against indifference, against hyper-individualism. She contrasts Independence Day with Interdependence Day.
That's powerful. True freedom and connection.
And this leads into ethical consumption. The book states humanity currently uses 1.7 Earths a year. Points out the impact of meat eating.
Wow, 1.7 Earths.
Yeah. It introduces reducitarianism, encouraging conscious choices, diet, water, clothes, investments aligning with your values. Not shaming, but empowering self-reflection. Like choosing to eat less meat isn't just diet, it's connecting your choices to the planet's well-being. Ecological reverence.
Sangha Sunday, week 2. Deepening your tribe.
Talks about finding your own motley sangha in many different places and introduces the 3 gates of speech for mindful communication.
Which are?
Ask yourself before speaking. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind?
Simple but profound. Not just manners, but building stronger communities.
Exactly. Building resilient, compassionate connections.
Okay, week 3. Wonder-filled Wednesday. Here comes the sun. Science and spirituality.
Right. Explores debates she has with a friend, quotes Einstein. Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind. Touches on the matrix idea. Real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
Oh.
And Rupert Sheldrake's panpsychism asking, is the sun conscious? It challenges our basic perception of reality.
So the rebellion here is seeing them not as opposites.
Yes. Complementary lenses, and the practice is simply feeling the sun directly, an act of direct experience over just analysis. Also mentions moonlit meditation, pondering mysteries.
Trekking Thursday, week 3. Leap of faith.
Shares her Nepal parahawking adventure. It's falconry plus paragliding for vulture conservation. She calls it a personal pilgrimage of faith, which is planning to hike the Camino.
Parahawking, that's quite a leap.
But the key takeaway is that these big leaps need a strong foundation. Holistic self-care, sleep, meditation, movement, emotional well-being, diet, grounding. Your internal state is the launch pad.
Makes sense. And Sangha Sunday, week 3. Sacred space crashing.
Tackles contempt prior to examination. Basically, judging before you even try something. She shares her experiences visiting Lakota ceremonies, Sufi gatherings, Buddhist temples, mosques, synagogues, churches.
So learning by doing, by experiencing.
Exactly. Rather than just being told. Encourages exploring different communities, online or in person. Emphasizes again, spirituality and religion are not opposites. It's a rebellion against prejudice through direct encounter.
Okay, now this part really got me. Revealing higher purpose through childhood inspirations. Smokey the Bear, Bugs Bunny.
Yeah. She argues these early heroes, Wonder Woman, Benji, Jewel the Unicorn, often reveal our core values, our latent purpose. Early guideposts.
And then she lists these spiritual rebels: St. Francis, Jesus, Dalai Lama, Tutu Kabir, Alice Walker, Yoda.
Uh-huh. And the aha moment is realizing they were all called. Purpose isn't something you necessarily invent. It's something revealed, something you answer to.
That's just the perspective.
And then the book gives these really practical, powerful examples of higher purpose in action today.
Like,
Okay, so there's the hashtag alt-sober movement, like Tawny Lara's sobrietyparty.com. It's not just about not drinking. It's redefining recovery as this vibrant community fighting stigma, a rebellious reframing.
okay, yeah.
Or Rabbi Daniel Bortz blending Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and hosting a Shabbat tent at Coachella. Creatively expanding tradition, finding spirituality in unexpected places.
At Coachella. Wow.
Right. Or Sonia Ketchian spending her 60th birthday giving 60 backpacks to homeless people in NYC. An act of unity consciousness, turning personal celebration into collective care.
That's incredible.
These aren't just nice things to do. They manifest purpose beyond personal gain. They have that rebellious saint quality, embodying truths that challenge norms, inspire action.
So the book concludes, ultimately, my higher purpose has very little to do with me. It's bigger than the self.
Exactly. It extends to impacting humanity, animals, the planet. A force flows through us, she says, making us these spiritual rebels and rebellious saints, finding that force within and letting it guide you.
So, thinking about all this, what does it mean for you listening right now? We've explored this idea that higher purpose often means looking beyond ourselves, embracing connection.
And that Yoda wisdom, always pass on what you have learned, seems like a core principle for a spiritual rebel.
Right.
So if finding your purpose involves looking beyond yourself, sharing what you learn, maybe the question is, what small act of rebellious compassion, or even just curiosity, will you undertake today?
To connect more deeply.
And then how will you pass that on?
Yeah.
We really hope this deep dive into Spiritual Rebel has sparked some insights, maybe some actionable steps for your own journey. We definitely encourage you to check out the book itself.
It's worth the read.
Until next time on The Deep Dive.